been obsessed with YouTube ever since I was 12. I'm not even trying to sound like one of those kids, but it was still relatively new. Dating back 10 years ago is when I made my first video. I didn't know what I was doing. I was purely just copying what I saw other people do. So back in the day, I was really just doing Lego reviews or stop motion because that's like what I had to work with. But what I wanted to talk about today is why YouTube is so instinctively hard now. I find it really fascinating because over the last 10 years, a lot of things have changed. Like even if you were to do anything nowadays, 10 years ago, you'd be so ahead just by doing the thing. You didn't even have to like reinvent something. You either just needed a custom thumbnail or you needed a title. Like just doing linear work that no one else had done yet because it was so new set you miles ahead. Which is also why I think YouTube is so difficult now, is because the internet isn't new anymore, or at least the platform isn't. Its maturity stage is way longer because it's been over 15 years of the platform like existing. A lot longer of a platform than we've really seen compared to Vine and TikTok. Those are a lot, I mean, those haven't really lasted that long. But for how simple these changes were, all you have to do is go back and look at who were the first to do things. For example, Smosh was the, dude, really? They're building like a whole new house outside my apartment. Smosh, for example, they were the first channel to really do skit formatted comedy. You had Ryan Higa doing similar stuff, but they implemented their own twist of like, they had a background in martial arts so they could like do flips and like have a bigger kind of team. Someone also who was huge in like 2013 was Tobuscus. I know he was huge when I was in middle school. He was like the first person to do like crazy high intensity, loud energy with animated songs. PewDiePie was the first consistent gamer, whether it was Happy Wheels, whether it was Amnesia. He was just constantly grinding the same thing for a first. Game Theorist was the first like analytical YouTube channel, at least for me, that's my bias. They were like the first channel that was like taking a bunch of lore and doing an analysis about whatever the game was. Then you had kind of like the first round of vloggers that were really getting recognition, which my bias is I was watching not American YouTubers at the time, so I think like Thatcher Joe, Casper Lee, Zoella. They literally were like the first big creators, at least I knew, that all they did was take a camera and hold it with this personal feel where its shakiness felt like you were kind of there, and all they did was just talk directly to the camera about their day. Then you had the first vloggers like Casey Neistat, where it was like actual media and film influence. He was the first vlogger to really do that as well, which is fucking insane. I don't know how the fuck he did it. He was posting like 800 days in a row. But eventually, after all these firsts of someone doing something, over time, you're gonna run out of firsts. Like the last kind of big YouTuber that has fully gotten everyone within the platform to recognize them is Mr. Beast, and I'd say his like influence was a lot larger than just he was the first to do one linear thing. He was more so the first person to like actually take kind of like a formula and like really max produce that on the platform, where quite literally the entire platform changed just for his style. But again, because the competition is so high, because the platform, you know, has been around for over a decade, the amount of firsts are a lot more limited. So you can't just make a thumbnail and you already stand out. You can't just use a certain style of music or have impacting good sound design or 3D graphics or motion graphics or a script. There's not linear things you can really do anymore just to stand out, which in turn makes it really difficult. Which is also why I have taken my content, which is also why I've taken my content into turning into more relationship-based content instead of like retention-based, like with like the hook at the beginning, it's gonna show what you're promised, and then you have like the graphics on the screen that kind of nicely display what you're about to watch. I don't got the skill for that, or the team, or the budget. I just focus on doing vlogs where it's like direct. I wanna show my personality to the viewer. If they care, that's different, but I just want to try and do that because I don't think I've ever really done that. It's just interesting because the more different you are, the easier it is to start in a way. Like if you're naturally talented at drawing or painting or stop motion or photography, like that actually can more easily set you apart versus at least me, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. You can go through and look at all the insane amount of bias or inspiration. I wouldn't even say that. I kind of was just copying YouTubers I watched to a T. I still don't know what I'm doing. I just want to create, and I know I want to like post consistently about similar content because my content has like gone up and down. Now this is where it gets crazy. I'm gonna even stand up for this because it's weird. The craziest thing is with the natural evolution of the platform, YouTubers and content creators today are competing for an entirely different game than they were 10 years ago. All your favorite creators right now are script writing, thumbnail designing, getting a production manager, assistant, a crew, managing ways to make better content that works now. Like for example, there's a lot more thought put into a thumbnail design versus 10 years ago, or a title, or how you're going to make them interact with each other. The idea alone versus like me taking this camera, me going to the store like, hey, I bought this toaster, subscribe. That's not the game anymore. Versus what you had to do in 2007 was simply click upload. So yes, it was harder, but the game was completely different. There were a lot more different struggles back then versus now. Like, you could make a thumbnail on Canva for free. You could go into CapCut and edit your video for free. You could film on your phone for free. Well, that costs money, but you get what I'm saying? Like, you could get all the tools that are required all on your phone and then upload a video. Versus back then, I mean, this camera I've had for way too long, but even still, you'd have to buy a camera. You would at least need a computer to edit some sort of content on. So the struggles have completely changed, but I think the good part about it being so difficult is when new creators do emerge and like come out of the platform as up and coming in this new era of like so much competition, their content is a lot more aligned, I guess, with themselves and like what artwork they want to produce. Because no offense to any of the OG GOAT YouTubers, but all you had to do was click upload. You didn't really have to have a specified niche at the time. Like if you literally just clicked upload, no one was even doing that. So you could literally just make content and not even really care about the content you make is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. I hope you enjoyed the video, and something I don't know why I never do, but make sure to hit the subscribe button, please. I would appreciate it. Yeah, now that I've said that, hopefully that button also below like lit up. That's their new AI thing where it reminds you. If you didn't click it, the subscribe button, it's down below. If you didn't click it, give me your opinion in the comments if you're still watching, because I'm very passionate about the platform. I enjoy talking about it. I would love to talk to others about it, and I've just seen it completely change over my lifetime. Bye.